Okay, great. All right, let's get started here.
Okay, awesome.
And
let me do my screen share, make sure that pops up.
All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. We have Sarah Campbell here with Sierra Pacific Windows with a beautiful presentation on designing with sustainability. And I will let her take it away. We are going to do a Q&A at the end. So make sure to get your questions ready. And here we go.
Awesome. Thanks, Gina. So it's the top of the hour, everybody. And I know we'll probably have some remaining people signing in and taking a moment to go over a few housekeeping items, if I will. I'm sure most of you over the past year and a half have attended a lot of online trainings from your vendors, from your colleagues, and perhaps even ones that have been hosted by Sierra Pacific Windows. So if you have, awesome, thank you for doing that. And if you haven't, it's nice to have you here. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that you guys are on mute, but please, I want this to be casual. I want this to be fun and interactive. So if you guys have anything you want to interject or go ahead and ask any questions, please feel free to stop me at any point. We'll also have plenty of time at the end to be able to do that. So keep your questions handy and we'll get on with it. So welcome everybody to Spring Design Week, and this is hosted by the Seattle Design Center. So thank you for supporting this presentation. And this was created especially for this Spring Design Week. And this is offered to you by Sierra Pacific Windows, which is a division of Sierra Pacific Industries. And my name is Sarah Campbell. I will be your Sierra Pacific presenter for today's showcase. So thank you for having me. I am one of more than the company's 20 architectural consultants devoted to supporting you as our industry's professionals and leaders. So if you have colleagues across the country that you feel would benefit from working with one of us, one of the architectural consultants, please feel free to message me at any time during this presentation. Then that way I can get them in touch with the AC in their area. And we also have a great for the professionals tab on our Sierra Pacific Windows website, where they can also search and find their appropriate AC. So let's dive in. I had mentioned that Sierra Pacific Windows is a division of Sierra Pacific Industries. So you may ask, why does a window company want to mention being a part of a forest products company? Well, it's pretty easy. It's our roots that sets us apart as SPI as a national premier leader and innovator in the window industry. And here is why. So Sierra Pacific Industries is a third generation Emerson family owned and operated forest products company that got its start in 1949 from a tenacious, hardworking 19-year-old man by the name of Red Emerson and his father, Curly. Oops, hold on one second, guys. I was right where I needed to be. Thank you. The little glitches make this a real presentation. So it's his humble beginnings with a single sawmill in Eureka, California, which evolved into an industry leader that operates with a very unique business model. So what do I mean by unique business model? Well, as the second largest private landowner in North America, the Emerson family has not just been content with simply making a profit off of the timber. They truly understand the enormous responsibility that comes along with such ownership and has devoted themselves to being environmental stewards as well as supporters of the community in which they live and work in. Because if you're going to do something right, you should always do it to the best of your ability. And we happen to agree. This drive to do better is evident in many examples, one of which is SPI, Sierra Pacific Industries, voluntarily manages roughly 2.1 million acres of rigorous sustainable forestry initiative standards, so SFI standards. And this is ensuring environmental protection to over 2 million acres worth of an ecosystem. That's huge. So they understand that responsibility with the ownership of such big pieces of land has also, it also involved them in producing, and this is where we say the forests of tomorrow are growing today, because many people do not realize that SBI is actually growing more trees than we are harvesting. So much so that we will have tripled our volume in less than 100 years. So slow clap for that. So once sustainably harvested, the timber from our SFI managed lands is transported to one of our sawmills for processing. These mills are powered by cogeneration plants that take what is typically waste, sawdust, and any other byproducts, and produce it into power to not only fully run our mills, but also a surplus of energy to be able to run over 126,000 households annually. So when you are producing quality lumber, why not build the largest millwork company to provide even more quality building materials, such as moldings and windows and door components? Well, that's exactly what Sierra Pacific did. And while we are at it, we said, why not continue to care for the environment by producing our own sustainable energy to run not only that millwork plant, but also nearby window and door plant, and let's use solar panels. So that's what the Emersons accomplished. And this happened in 2019, so recent, when we added 30 acres of solar panels to previously unutilized grounds. So just to put that into perspective, earlier I mentioned that we are the largest millwork producer. So, and by now you probably have already guessed that our attention to detail and quality led to a natural progression to making our own high quality windows and doors. And this is how Sierra Pacific Windows was born. So it's no wonder why we are the fastest growing wood company in the United States. It's this vertical integration that has given us something really important, and that is control. Control of the quality of the window, and knowing that the windows and doors that we build leave nothing in the way to chance. So from a planted seed to a delivered window, every door, every window, every style, feature, every bit of glazing and cladding are made by people invested in their work, with the care that our founder, Red Emerson, instilled when he said, don't pass on a bad product. The result, nothing but the best gets passed on to you. And Sierra Pacific Windows does not stop here. Through the Sierra Pacific Foundation, the Emerson family has given millions of dollars in community contributions and will continue to meet its philanthropic commitment to worthy organizations, community projects, youth activities, and student scholarships for the community, which the company owns and operates its facilities. So now you can understand why our slogan is, welcome to windows and doors that never compromise, made by people that don't either. So I always love to share our story, and it really is what's driving this design with sustainability in mind. You can easily understand why we are devoted to the environment and being environmental stewards. And we love that that carries over into our design. So today, just the initiatives are really to not so much deep dive into the nuts and the bolts of our windows, but more to highlight and showcase some of our popular products. And then at the very end, selfishly, I volunteered for this presentation because I would love to know what everybody is seeing out there in the industry and what are the trends. So Gina and myself will have some time to be able just to do some question and answer. So I'll be picking your brains at the very end of this. So designing with sustainability in mind, this is a product showcase. Again, we put this together for the Spring Week Design Week. And it's amazing that whenever I have anybody walk into our showroom, it's crazy. The first thing that they will take notice to is our urban series. So I chose to highlight that as our window for today. But going back to sustainability, I wanted to look up the definition of sustainability since it's a major focus on our presentation today. Sustainability focuses on meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their needs. So the concept behind sustainability is it's composed of 3 pillars. This is interesting: economic, environmental, and social. So also known informally as profits, planet, and people. So safe to say, in all of our positions, these pillars are a major part of our business. So the focus on this discussion will continue to be stewards of the environment by providing sustainable and renewable resources, but also creating beautiful, long-lasting products in homes. So let's dive into the aesthetics of our windows. The capability of our products and the multiple options that we have to elevate your designs will help to set you apart from the competition. So whenever we have architects, designers, homeowners, and builders walk through the doors, again, they're automatically drawn to the uniqueness of this urban line. So I often ask the question, is it the clean lines? Is it the modern appearance? Perhaps even the price point of the contemporary hardware profiles that make it truly a fan favorite. And this one is specified on our projects quite regularly. So as you can see some pictures of the urban, this is showing our operable awning as well as our casement window and that really contemporary hardware that we can also offer on the window. So it does have the narrowest of sight lines. It has a smooth action casement with tandem sash locks, which is great because oftentimes someone like me who's 5'3" in stature, it's hard for me to be able to reach the locks of casements over kitchen windows or counters. So we've taken that into account by offering tandem sash locks when these windows grow longer or taller. So a close-up on the urban window. This picture in particular, this is a slide that is showing the pairing of an operable urban window with a direct glazed 90-degree corner unit. Again, we have both of these in person at our showroom, and you can see how the lines actually complement each other quite well. So if you're really trying to capture that modern aesthetic, you're able to also get operable windows in rooms that you want the breeze. So a couple specs with the urban, and again, don't feel as if you have to memorize these specs. I am more than welcome to give you product information offline. You guys always email me after and I can get any of these product data sheets to you. But really quick, the sash thickness is offered actually in narrow as well as a little bit wider face. So our narrow profile is 1 7/16", which is really, really narrow, or we can also offer a wide face, which is 2 3/16". And then the overall depth of the window is 5 11/16 with a standard 4 9/16 jamb. So if we're working in 2x4 construction, most of our new construction windows are 4 9/16 jamb, so that face will grow just a little bit deeper. So again, the dark colors, the modern aesthetic is often showcased with some of the interior black as well as the exterior. But I love this picture because it also shows the softness of the urban window as well. There's a seamless, aesthetic when it comes to adding lighter colors. So for example, in here, this is a linen color with some white hardware used in this beautiful powder room. So it's a chic traditional look, but also gaining as much glass as possible by using that thin profile. So allowing all that light to come in, maximizing your glass, and you're also keeping this urban window soft and pretty. So it's pretty diverse depending on which aesthetic you guys are designing for. A couple other cool things about the window, just the nerdy techie stuff, if you will, is that there is a seamless compression style frame weather strip. So that's nice to know that when that tandem sash lock is locked and shut, that no wind or water will be coming in. And also too, it helps with sound when your windows are shut and locked with that compression strip. And then we also use what's called Truth Encore operators. And this is in the standard contemporary folding handle. And you'll see that in this picture here. Again, you can also pair up the urban line with a traditional folding handle. And we have some close-ups of that in our showroom, and I can also send you pictures. It's a little bit softer, so not as blocky as that contemporary hardware. So again, just showing the differences between something a little bit more darker and industrial versus softer and more chic. And a lot of these pictures are actually taken from the Pacific Northwest. I wanted to highlight a lot of the Pacific Northwest architects and their designs. So this one here is just this beautiful coastal view, capturing as much of that coast as possible. So you'll see a lot of direct glazed windows here, so non-operable windows, but seamlessly paired up with some operable casements, as well as that awning that's on that left-hand side. So again, you're able to open up, get some fresh breezes in your room, but not disrupting any of those unique sight lines. And what's really cool too, if you are a window cleaner in the family, I know that tends to be my job, is that these casement windows can open up to a full 90-degree angle, so it allows for easy cleaning. And we also have an optional flex screen, which is our screen system that will integrate seamlessly into the sash of the window. So you don't have a heavier or bulkier aluminum screen holding in that window. And then just one more captured picture of the urban. This is showing some mold units. So again, the direct glaze on top of a mold awning unit where you can operate these windows without disrupting the sight lines of your views. So just that modern aesthetic really starts to show through, and you're able to get some cross-through breezes in your bedroom spaces as well as your living spaces. So these windows have a pretty good size range. The minimum operating casement width of our urban window is 14.5 inches. The minimum frame height is 14.5 inches as well. So we can get them pretty narrow and pretty short. But we can also grow the maximums too. The maximum frame width of our urban is 36 inches, and we can grow up to a max frame height of 72 inches. And if you want to pair them up with some stationary picture windows to mimic the sight lines, the minimum frame width on the stationary is 12 inches, and the maximum frame width and height is 120 inches. So the maximum square footage on our urban stationary picture windows is 42. So now that we've talked about that urban window, what it looks like, the aesthetics that it can gain in your designs, it's important to talk about what the windows are actually comprised of and how this will be long lasting in your customers' homes. So when we talk about aluminum clad windows, it's a cladded exterior, and our windows here at Sierra Pacific Windows are an all extruded aluminum clad, and we have consistent profiles within all of the windows. They're powder coated, and we also offer what's called an accessory groove. And this is really unique because you'll see that channel on that cladding, and allows us to be able to snap different accessory pieces, brick moldings, and all other options into that window. And this can be done actually in the factory, so the window comes completely assembled. That's just nice for your contractors to know. So a little bit more about the exterior of the window. It's a thick aluminum exterior with an extruded integral nail fin. So meaning everything is solid and it makes for an easier installation. And the corners are sealed with silicone, and mechanically fastened corner pads are also a part of the window. So the exposure to the elements here in the Pacific Northwest, the longevity of the exteriors, as well as the integrity of the windows and doors, are of the utmost importance. So having that peace of mind for longevity, comfort, and aesthetics relies a lot on the cladding. And we're really proud to let you know that we do not use what's called roll form aluminum. A lot of our competitors in the industry use that form of aluminum, and it's almost how do I describe it? Like a pop can, if you will, where it's easy to push your fingernail into that cladding. Ours is actually a 0.062 inch thickness compared to that roll form aluminum, which is really, really thin. So again, just knowing, peace of mind that the aluminum exteriors of these windows are really going to hold up, and they're going to be able to make it through the test of time. So this is the fun stuff. This is the colors. And I always laugh and ask the question, is it a blessing or a curse to have all of these options available when it comes to our window exteriors? I mean, classic white is never going to go away, but we also offer unique tones such as black sable. We also do a peppered steel, which is a textured collection, which mimics almost a steel window, if you will. So that again urban windows, paired up with a peppered steel starts to get more into that steel window look. And as if 75 different color options and textures weren't enough, if you are interested in color and custom color matching, that is something we can also do. So again, if 75 colors isn't marking where you need to be, let us know and we can come up with a custom color for you. So how are these colors made, I guess, if you will? It's a powder coating. So I don't know if anybody is familiar with powder coating, what it is. It's a great option. It has near zero VOCs because it is solvent free. It is unlike any liquid paint. So the benefits is that it's harder and it's less scratch resistant. And also with our powder coating, we're able to cover all of the exposed edges on the windows. So liquid coatings are a major source of man-made VOCs due to the solvents that they require. So our powder coating is an EPA recommended finishing system, and it's a great contributor to the LEED, so LEED Green Building Initiative. And that stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. So no solvents, no VOCs in the powder. It's non-toxic. So the compounds in the powders can actually be reclaimed and recycled if there is overspray. And we can go ahead and get all of these vibrant colors with a single coat application. And what's also really cool is that it is recognized by the EPA. So the love of wood never gets old. It's a huge reason why Sierra Pacific windows are very popular and why we have so many people coming into our showroom to take a look, because it never gets old. I always say it's reminiscent of the old double hungs from my first apartment, which was in Boston, Massachusetts. It also reminds us of our childhood homes. It's just something about wood that just makes us feel good. It's a big reason why people do choose interior wood windows, because they want to be able to feel their windows and feel surrounded by something natural. So when we talk about the different wood species, our mainstays and what Sierra Pacific is known for is our ponderosa pine, as well as our Douglas fir. But you also have options to choose from 8 other wood species, and you can see them here. So we do have pine, maple, alder, mahogany, cherry, Doug fir, red oak, walnut, and white oak. Some really beautiful options. The white oak gets specified a lot as well here in the Pacific Northwest. And don't be shy if there's requests for any other workable species. It is something we can always look into and see if it's something we can source for you and your project. There's something too that we do to our wood. It's called CoreGuard Plus. It is a wood protection that we place on the wood in the factory. So it helps against any critters and also helps with any sort of moisture in your area. So again, choosing the look and the feel of wood, it helps to create that calm environment. It is known scientifically to elevate moods when you're in those rooms, either working or living. So again, having a variety of SFI sustainable woods is really important, reminding you that these woods are responsibly sourced and that wood is the only renewable building material that is available. Because it is naturally grown, it removes CO2 from the atmosphere. So the production and the processing in the wood uses much less energy than other man-made materials. So this is called embodied energy. And it has more than any other building material. So giving wood products a lower carbon footprint, which is really important to our initiative here to be sustainable and to remain stewards of the environment. So again, interior finishes, if you're looking to highlight that interior wood with different stains, our company offers what's called Ultra Stain as well as Ultra Coat. So the Ultra Stain, you can just go ahead and get a clear coat on that beautiful wood species that you and your client have picked for the project. But we also can do espresso as well as a toffee to highlight some of the wood grain. And we've also known some of our homeowners to custom stain to match any of their interiors, perhaps in their wood floors or their cabinetry. So there's so many different options. What's really unique is that Sierra Pacific offers what's called an ultra coat. And the ultra coat options right now are white and black. So this is a finished product out of our factory. It is sprayed in our paint booth, so it's a real seamless look. And right now, the ultra coat black paired up with that real contemporary urban window with a black exterior is what we're seeing a lot of in the industry and with the designs. So it's very hot and very trendy right now. And what's really cool is that it's oftentimes more cost effective to have Sierra Pacific Ultra Coat the windows and doors in our factory rather than having a painter come out after installation to do all of that finish work. So it is a nice option, and we love the ability to be able to offer that to you and to your homeowners. So that's wrapping up the windows. Again, we have many other window lines, but that urban is just one that is a fan favorite. So thank you for letting me show you a little bit more about that window. So I want to dive into pairing windows up with some of these specialty doors. I mean, we have a number of specialty doors. We have bifolding doors, lift and slide, but today we're going to go ahead and highlight the multi-slide door. And I'm happy to share with you a structural upgrade to this particular door. So you guys are getting a little bit of a sneak peek into what we've been doing. So we'll get into the design upgrade. But doors are getting bigger. We're seeing larger panels. I think it's the concept of trying to be able to bring that outdoors in, having outdoor entertaining spaces, allowing these doors to be fully open to create just that seamless room to room feeling and really highlighting anything on the exterior of your home. So I want to show just a quick video about how these doors look, feel, and how they operate. So again, just a quick little video. I hope you guys can hear it. I was told the audio is a little tough on it, but let's see what happens. Gina, were you guys ever able to hear that? I'm not seeing the chats popping up, so.
Oh, unfortunately not, but it looks absolutely gorgeous.
Okay, so thank you. I know it was a little tricky. Sometimes Zoom doesn't play friendly with the audio. So this is RJ Smith Construction. He specifies our doors a lot. He's a big fan of our Sierra Pacific multi-slide doors, but I love showing the video, but he is in Manhattan Beach, California, which we all know is very different from the Pacific Northwest. So when we see these pictures and homeowners come in and they show us these doors and this is what they want, it's something we can achieve. This multi-slide door is actually highlighted at the Seattle Design Center. It's a 5-panel, it's big and beautiful. So if you have a chance to check that door out at our showroom, we'd be more than happy to show it to you. But the one that we just saw in the video from RJ Construction is utilizing what's called the T-tracks. And it is really, really cool because the T-tracks are seamless. You can weave the flooring directly into the track. Again, you can see this right in our showroom. It's really awesome to be able to have this available, but in the Pacific Northwest, it's just not the most functional since we do have wind and we do have water. If somebody is really wanting that door, we always recommend an extremely long overhang to be able to protect that door, but even still, it's not rated for wind and water. And you'll even see here, just it's just seamless. I mean, just that outdoor space and just gorgeous. This is stuff that dreams are made of. You're going to build your dream home. You definitely are looking at a multi-slide door. So what we've done, and I'm so lucky to sit and work with an awesome group of engineers. Sierra Pacific has our own group of engineers, and they work endless amounts of hours. I swear these people don't sleep, thinking about different ways to make our windows and doors better. So this isn't the sexiest slide, but it is a real technical slide to show you what we have accomplished. And that is adding some structural and also rated sills to the repertoire of the multi-slide door. So this is the multi-slide stacking and pocketing plus. So again, if you're looking to specify that door, we'll know exactly what you're asking for. So we've added these interior sill stops, and they're available in a couple different heights, the 1 1/8, 1 3/4, and also in 2 1/8 and a 2.5-inch height. So here in the Pacific Northwest, the 1 3/4 is about as low as we would recommend you going to get that wind and water rating. And anything above and beyond obviously is going to help a little bit more. So I love to say that we can now allow you guys to sit back and enjoy your indoor outdoor living space without worrying about the unwanted elements getting in the way when it's time to close them out. So the draining sills or these tracks are going to replace that flat T-track. And we've also added shoes at the bottom of the panel to help with the air and the wind and the water. They are black in color, so it's nice because they blend directly into the sill. And I've seen some really creative ways where you can butt that subfloor up to the door and carry your finished floor as close to that threshold as possible. So you can get it pretty seamless and have that peace of mind. So hardware is available on the Multislide and the Multislide Plus, as well as our Multislide regular doors. We do have a non-keyed option as well as a keyed option. And I just wanted to show you some of the finishes that are available, as well as the look of that hardware. Again, it's really clean and sleek and contemporary. So we offer satin nickel, oil rub forever bronze. We also can do a matte black. So again, kind of layering all these pieces together, you've got that clean urban window, exterior peppered steel. You're doing an ultra coat black on the interior. You go ahead and put one of these multi-slide doors in, and then you've got that matte black hardware to really start to tie this all together. So it starts to add up to a really unique experience with the designs that you're doing. So specifications on the door, again, don't feel as if you have to memorize these. I can get you all these specs. They're on our website as well. So we do offer an 1 3/4 as well as a 2 1/4 inch panel. So depending on the height of the door would also justify what that panel thickness will be. Max configuration on the doors is we can go up to 48 feet and a height of 10 feet, which is incredible. Again, doors are getting taller and wider. We could do a single direction up to 5 panels, and our multi-directional can operate up to 10 panels. And then we can go ahead and do some unique things with the top rails, the side rails, as well as the bottom rails to try to make them as narrow as possible for that clean contemporary look. But again, if you wanted to grow that bottom rail and keep this a little bit more traditional with your design, don't shy away from something really modern and unique with the door. You can make it look traditional as well. So I want to jump back to windows and what's possible with the windows. Selfishly, it allowed me to highlight one of my favorite projects. This is actually a private residence on Bainbridge Island. I have this as my screensaver, and I get to look at this beautiful property every day. It just, for me, it speaks to me. It's the dark colors paired up with that white brick. But I also love the use of the grills on this. So I just wanted to finish up by showing some of the unique things that we can do with grills, just to give it that little extra something special. So this picture here, this is a Fairbank construction project. The architect is Dana Weber, and the designer is Mindy Gayer Design. So again, just a dream team of people to put this together. And it's right out of the pictures of a magazine. I mean, modern farmhouse, pairing up that classic with contemporary. So really not being afraid to mix up those styles. So the grills are really cool. I mean, we've got traditional grills, we've got flat grills, we've got putty style grills. So taking the grills from this particular project, that 5/8 putty is extremely popular, and especially right now to get really narrow grills and doing just that single cross pattern. And just some nerdy techie stuff with the grills themselves. The exterior is an extruded aluminum. We could do between the glass a shadow bar to make it look very authentic. It has a bronze interior spacer bar, so it's not jarring on the eye. It really blends nicely into that SDL. And we can also do an interior matching wood species. Again, if you do a Doug fir, or if you decided to do a ponderosa pine, or even doing that urban ultra coat black, we can go ahead and make sure the grills will match. So it's truly a popular addition, that 5/8 putty SDL. So fun fact about this picture here, the front entrance, that is a steel door, and above that is a steel window. So we all know that, you know, steel, very expensive. It's quite beautiful. We have a great relationship with Euroline. Great company, high quality handmade products, but they do tend to get a little bit pricey. So in this particular project, and why I wanted to showcase it, is this is the urban line with that 5/8 putty in dark peppered steel, pairing up and playing quite nicely with that Euroline steel window and door. So again, that exact look, you can mimic that quite easily in this product line. So another view showing the views of Bainbridge Island, getting all that light shining through, but just that little extra special that just makes this house really pop and makes it really, really unique. And then also too, you'll see how this was paired up nicely with some clear windows, that bifold window, right where the ledge is, where the kitchen is. Of course, they wanted to try to be able to capture, you know, as much glass as possible, not have any obstruction with their view. But with that door open, you'll see the interior is that putty style grid pairs up quite nicely with that bifold product. So again, marrying this modern aesthetic while adding just a little extra oomph to keep this timeless and classic. So I just want to finish up real quick with some nerdy techie window performance. I know it's a huge topic right now. It's something I get calls on at least a couple times a week. Big topic of conversation being the energy codes amongst the building community. Contractors are asking about energy codes, as well as architects being educated to know on the forefront when they're designing what they need for U factors. So how does it relate to glass and what we can offer? So currently in Washington right now, they changed the energy codes in February, and we're seeing specifications for as low as 2.8 to even, 0.28 to 0.24 with these U factors. So we have glass packages available to be able to get to these numbers. So communicating along with myself as well as your team to know exactly what you're looking for on the forefront of the project is important. And there's options too. So different options for glass, and you guys probably know a lot about this, but just low E272 is an option. And mostly what we're starting to see specified now is a low E366, because it does offer more efficient windows. So using the term low E, E stands for emissivity, which is the measurement of radiant heat coming in from the outside. And how I break this down is low E366. So three coats of low E, 66 is 66% of the light transmittance. And this can help to get down to a 0.28. And again, just making sure that we're talking about this on the design phase, because with the urban oftentimes to try to get down to a 0.28 may be tricky, but we do have windows such as our Aspen line that out of the box, if you will, are a more efficient window because they do have more wood in their sash. So again, not shying away from a particular, U factor, we can always help to get those U factors to where you guys need them to be on your projects by offering maybe a different window line. So to wrap everything up before we start to turn it over to you is we can take this efficient glass, we put it into an aluminum clad window, add custom grills for that something special, picking from 75 different colors, pairing it up with a specialty door, and offering a product proudly built from sustainable forests by a family who cares about the betterment of the communities and the environment. You can start to see how this adds up to something really unique and how this starts to pair up sustainability with design. And another added bonus is when you work with Sierra Pacific Windows, you're working with myself as well as a fantastic team that are passionate about what they do, and they're passionate about you creating your dreams and your desires through your designs. And that is why I'm so happy to represent Sierra Pacific Windows, and more importantly, represent you on your next project. So I'm going to turn it over to you. I know we've got some time left. Again, full transparency, I raised my hand with much enthusiasm when I was offered the opportunity to present for the Seattle Design Week, because I selfishly wanted to get in front of all of you and get a leg up on what you guys are seeing out there. So as the industry's leaders, what trends are you seeing? I often ask, do we feel modern farmhouse is here to stay? What's the next hot thing? And finishing with another awesome design. This is actually in Edmonds, private residence, and the architect on this one was Prentice Balance in Wickline. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. If you guys want to unmute yourself, I can go ahead and unshare my screen. Say hi to everyone. Hi. And go ahead and get some questions and answers going.
All right.
Hi, Gina.
Awesome. Hi.
I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick. Thanks.
Yeah, please. Oh, great glass. I love that. So we do have a few questions in the Q&A. Patricia wants to know, does your company make replacement shades or sashes for older wood windows in an existing home?
That's a great question, Patricia, and thank you for asking. We do. We have what we call Transcend, which is kind of a family of windows that allows us to be able to take the original opening, not disrupt that original envelope of the home. So if we're looking at, an old single hung, window, and we want to be able to not disrupt any of that pocket, those windows can easily be fit into the pocket. It's also nice to evaluate what that pocket's looking like too. Is there any sort of rot? Are we looking at having to maybe fix up some of the sill? Some of that stuff over time can get wear and tear. But yes, Patricia, we are happy to get you information on what we call our Transcend product. So thank you for asking.
Fantastic. And does anyone else have some questions? You can put them in the Q&A box. Gail said, nice presentation, well spoken.
Thank you, Gail. I'm going to share my screen real quick. I have one more slide if you guys want to just capture this.
Right.
Let's go ahead. And this is just all my contact information. Can you see that,
Perfect.
Gina?
I can.
Awesome.
And just so everybody knows, your Seattle Design Center showroom is open. They do appreciate appointments there. So if you would like to make an appointment with Tony, can we put Tony's email in the chat box?
Sure.
That would be great. I love all these images that you're
showing. I know.
So
it's every day. I'm so lucky. I get to look at all these designs and see them come to fruition. It's amazing.
Yeah, does anyone else have questions on the sustainability? I loved learning about the replanting of the trees.
Yeah, we replant 6 million seedlings a year, which is incredible. Fun fact.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
So I think we're good.
Yeah.
Very educated. I mean, you covered it all. So.
I mean, everyone's shy today? I have to ask. So I'm starting to see a lot of that kind of Scandinavian look.
Mm-hmm.
Black houses, black roofs, black windows. What are we thinking? Is this the new hot thing?
What do our viewers think of the Scandinavian woodsy?
Yeah.
Oh, here's another question. What is the typical lead time for windows?
Ooh, hot topic.
Right?
Hot topic. Who is that coming? That's from Arlene.
Yes.
Arlene, it is a really important question, especially, I'm not sure if you're a designer or architect or all of the above. Thank you for that question. It's important to know that right now our lead times can be anywhere between 7 weeks to 18 weeks, depending on the product line that we're looking at. So I have taken, the stand to be able to, while we're working on the design and kind of answering all those fun questions about colors and what window line, is trying to get that rolling as quickly as possible without rushing your homeowners. Because the lead times are starting to creep up there, and it's a little uncomfortable for us, if I can speak freely, but we've been having crews in our factory working third shifts, and every single week we're starting to see that lead time come down. So at the most, if you were to do a specialty door, we could be up to 18 weeks. If we're working within our standard window lines, about 8 weeks. So great question. It's good to know.
And Kara here since we are leaning more towards modern, but not so minimalistic, I think the dark Danish modern from the 50s and 60s are morphing in. Great.
Yeah.
Kara.
Nordic barn type. Yeah, I can see the
Tom.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking. I'm seeing it a lot. So,
I think it's really pretty up here in the Pacific Northwest. It's a beautiful style, but I like, you could show me any house and I'm like,
yeah, you can't go wrong with classic too. I mean, everyone loves a beautiful, linen double hung with some beautiful millwork on the interior and some custom exterior trim. Pairing that up with some Dutch doors. I mean, that's all. I can go on for hours about all the different iterations that we could come up with. Perhaps we'll do another product showcase, dive a little bit more into the traditional classic look, but.
Yeah, and if our viewers haven't had a chance to come in and kind of play with some of the sliding doors and the accordion ones, and the showroom here is fantastic.
Yeah, I thank my lucky stars for that showroom every day, and the Seattle Design Center for all that you guys do to support us. I mean, it really does set the tone for our architects, our designers, and even our homeowners when they walk through that showroom. And it starts with, being at the Seattle Design Center. It really just lets people know that this is high end, while being very, very much, on par with budgets and all that's different. We're not going to compromise the quality, but we can also give you guys a really amazing window. So as you can tell, I'm enthusiastic to work with everybody. Please, if you need to get in touch with me through Gina, and if you guys need my, information, I'm here to help.
Yeah, and you can always head to the Seattle Design Center website and go to the Sierra Pacific Windows page, and all of the information is on there as well.
Great.
So, all right, Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Gina. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. I hope everyone has a great day and week.
Take care.